Oh man. All right. I'm gonna stop right here. First of all, I'm grateful. I'm so thankful to be here, and also just to put this video together. We're gonna be dissecting this beat and just kind of going through what I have going on right here, what I'm using, how I'm putting this together, and also I'm gonna be making another beat at the end of this and just have a good time. There's nothing I enjoy more than sitting right here and just making music. So let's get right into it. As you guys hear right here on this beat, it just feels so good. I don't have anything mixed, just running everything into my DAW for you guys to hear, but yet it just sounds so good put together. Or actually, I do have my SP404 right here. I've been using my SP404 to just ride some effects and also for some textures as I'm putting my signal through the SP404. But this beat just feels right to me. It just comes together so good. And a big shout out to EA Ski, because I am using some of his drums. These are actually the converter drums, which actually I think they dropped today. And it's just something that I enjoy is when I have a sample, I put it into my sequencer and I go and I like to audition my samples to hear what one shots is going to sound good with my sample. And as I'm auditioning on top of that sample groove that I have in my sequence, whatever feels like it's mixed already and whatever feels right, I go ahead and load that into one of these pads and I start building like that. I feel like that's the easiest way, the best way, where it makes mixing a lot better once I'm in that stage. Again, right here in this beat, it's not mixed. Well, it's just levels that I have going up, but it sounds almost finished because it's the right sounds that we have loaded into the session. Again, I started off with, I think it was Splice, and when I started with Splice, there's so many sounds right there, but I found myself going through thousands and thousands of kicks, and whenever I found a kick, I ended up mixing the life out of it once I was trying to get the mix to sound right. But with drums like this, it just comes together really good. So what I do and what I enjoy doing, like I mentioned, is I like to start with my sample. I got this sample right here. And this sample is actually interesting because I don't know if you noticed, but it kind of has like a little off beat. Like it's not really cut in the downbeat. There's like a little millisecond of a like it kind of pulls back a bit. It's not right on the downbeat. Again, that to me is awesome. Like it just kind of gives a groove when the beat drops. I enjoy that because it just kind of adds a groove or a swing that I probably would not have came up with if I had not chopped it up the way I chopped it up right here. Real quick, I'm going to go over these drums right here. These drums are actually interesting because I have them laid out right here. The way I like to lay out my drums is I have my kicks, my snares, percussion and hi-hats, and up here I actually have a drum fill or a drum roll. Actually, no, it's not up here. It's in this red pad. It's really cool because if we actually go into the sample pack right here and we have this folder right here. Right here, you're going to have hats, kicks, some drum breaks, and some snares. They're all in one folder. The way I like to just filter out these folders is right here on the search directory. I'll go ahead and go to kick. And as soon as I load that up, I hit do it, and then I get all my kicks right here. So for an example, if I go ahead and just solo this sample, I'm just listening to the sample by itself, and the way I like to select my drums, I jump into my browser and I just start auditioning these kicks on top of the sample. Woo. There's no good or bad sounding kick. It's just, does it blend with the sample? Because again, this kick sounds so nice on top of that sample. If you hear it by itself, you might think something else. If you might like it, you might not like it. But when you blend it with the sample, it just comes together so good. So that's how I select my drums that I'm going to be choosing. I personally, just like I mentioned, I like to start with my sample and build from there. So like this sample, there's a lot of low end on that sample, and this kick by itself, it sounds awesome. But on top of the sample, it's just gonna, it's gonna mask a little bit. So I'm trying to counteract that with a kick that's a little more punchy, a little more low mids instead of like the subby lows. You got some Drakes. This is the break that I used, and I just chopped up the last, I think it was in the third beat of the last bar. Right here. Boom. As he kind of does the drum fill. I actually enjoy that texture and just adding that into the beat. I actually threw that right here. If I go to my drums, I'll go into the, where is this? I'm going to go all the way to my third or my fourth break. And that's what I have. I unsolo that and we can hear everything together. So again, it just feels so good when stuff like this happens, when the drums, the sample, the bass, everything just clicks the way it should. And I have not really started mixing yet. That's a huge thumbs up. I'm actually going to jump into an empty sequence, and right here, let's put something together from the start. I don't want to have anything queued up right here. I have the drums. God, okay, yeah, those sound really nice. So I have the drums already queued up, and I'm actually gonna select a sample right here for we could start playing with. Goodness. All right, let's get this started. Actually feels really good. I'm gonna lay, I don't know what tempo I'm in. I'm actually tapped it out. It's at about 80 beats per minute. I'm not used to that, but let's rock with this because it just feels right. All right, so this happens sometimes, and when you already have your program created and you hear a glitch, I'm actually hearing this glitch right here. Between these two pads, and you already created your program chops and you want to go back and readjust, it's so simple. Just go back to your program editor and go to samples, and in samples you could still go in here and you could adjust your start and end point of a sample if you feel like it could be better. So that was way off. All right. So there's still kind of like a little glitch. I don't know if you hear it. You just go ahead and select all of your pads in that program, go to tail length and bump it up about 200 milliseconds, and it should give it like a crossfade to those glitches. Oh, there you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. And now that I have that right there, let's go ahead and drop in some drums. All right, this actually feels good. Let's go ahead and lay this down. Yeah. This open hat, I can probably lower this down just a bit. All right, there you go. Let's add this kick, like the stomp kick at the very end. Oh man, so you see, like, this is the thing. I'm not the best drummer. I feel like the drums is my weakness when it comes down to just programming something or putting something together. So at least for somebody like me that does not have the most natural groove or good swing, I really do rely on some good sounding drums because I need to make my drum stand out. So having this extra push just allows me to sound a lot better than I really am. So So I go back to what I said in the beginning. When you got good sounding drums, any sample you toss or you put on top of that, it just clicks. It just comes together very well. For me, I like to have my drum libraries or my sample libraries I think they're small, but opposed to the way when I first started, I used to have just thousands and thousands of just samples that I never used. Now I like to keep my folders very small and just select the kicks and snares, hi-hats that I know I'm gonna rock with, and those are the ones that I want to have installed in my MPC, because whenever I drop the needle in some records, I want to move fast, because the way I work is just I move by instinct, and when I hear something that feels right to me that I want to start chopping up, I do not want to spend minutes like just going through different kicks and snares. I just want to go ahead and go to my go-to snares and kicks, drop them on top of my sample, and start moving forward. I'm going to leave a link down in the description. You guys go ahead and pick up these drums. Also, I'll leave a link somewhere up here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. I hope you guys took something out of it. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.